One of my favorite parts of traveling is the journey itself. Today that journey was taking us to Pench National Park. Welcome to part 3 of this Little India series. Along the way, we told our taxi driver he was welcome to put on some music. Naturally, we expect the traditional Indian music we'd heard with most of our other drivers. Instead, we were greeted by Taylor Swift, Katy Perry, and other familiar female pop artists, which, don't get me wrong, was completely okay. It just took us a little by surprise. After a long drive, we finally arrived at Pench Jungle Camp. So we are glamping this time round at Pench National Park, and this is the room that I'm going to be sharing with my brother. I obviously dipped the double, and then my brother's going to be staying there. And I just love this tinted ceiling. It is so pretty. And then if we come around this way, we've got a little toilet here, which is black, which you don't see very often, but I think that's kind of cool. And then this side, we have our tea and coffee station, some really comfortable chairs I'll definitely be reading in, and a really big spacious bathroom. I really like these things. But this is where we're going to be staying for the next 3 days. We started off early the next day and headed into the reserve. We were on the lookout for all animals, but especially kept our eyes open for leopards since the park is quite well known for them. Check how that one's sitting. We then came across a rather comical troop of langurs, which I've come to find throughout this holiday are quite dramatic little characters who really seem to enjoy the attention of the camera. Where is he singing? We also came across some macaques, another species of monkey found here, and I've noticed they tend to be a little grumpier than the langurs, which I must say suits their red faces quite nicely. We then pulled up next to a waterhole where we found plenty of peacocks wandering about and a few spotted deer nearby. It was such a lovely little spot to pause for a while before stopping for breakfast. Is it a catfish? There's so many of them. There was also a little Jungle Book themed curio shop. Not gonna lie, it left me slightly confused because everywhere in Ghana claimed to be home of the Jungle Book, but everything here seems to say the same thing. At this point, I honestly have no idea who gets the title. We then continued with our game drive and came across this adorable little owl before speeding off to what was apparently a leopard sighting, and sure enough, there it was with its spotted deer kill. After spending some time watching the leopard, we eventually headed back to camp for lunch. Stuck in traffic.
Oh, one light gone. You can do this like wait up for me. Why is it coming? That way is the mountain. Yeah, sure. I mean, there's no way.
So we have just got back from our game drive here at Pench National Park, and oh my goodness, I know I have said this about like every single game reserve so far, but it is just so beautiful. I think this might be my favorite one so far. Apparently they have the highest density of spotted deer in the whole of India, and I can definitely believe that because they are absolutely everywhere. I think in Hindi they're called chitta. Hopefully I'm saying that right. And we were also lucky enough to see our first leopard, so that's really exciting. After chilling in our room for a while, we went off to explore the camp where we came across this little Hindu shrine, a pool area, tea spot, and this lovely little lounge where I spent some time relaxing before heading over to the restaurant for lunch. But can we just take a moment to appreciate the ceiling? I mean, how beautiful is that? Anyway, they had lots of delicious Indian food to choose from, which we enjoyed before setting off on our second game drive. We spotted this boar, and ever since arriving in India, we've been fascinated by them. Some grow to an incredible size, making the warthogs back at home seem surprisingly small in comparison. On this trip, we also came across multiple parakeets which are native to India. This one is a rose-ringed parakeet and is one of the many different parakeet species we've spotted here so far, and I just think they're such beautiful birds. Then we came across our first tiger here in Pench National Park. Although we'd already seen quite a few in Ghana, that didn't make this sighting feel any less special. We were also quite surprised to see one at this time of the day, although the alarm calls from the spotted deer and longoose certainly made finding it a little easier.
Young, old, 5 months.
Another interesting creature we came across was a jungle fowl, and yes, it does look a lot like a chicken, but that's because domestic chickens are actually descended from wild jungle fowl, making this the wild relative of the chickens we know today. Nevertheless, it still felt rather odd hearing a cock-a-doodle-doo on a game drive in the middle of nowhere. So we've just come back from our afternoon drive and now we're going to head over to tea. It also looks like we're sitting outside tonight, which is really nice, except for the fact that the mosquitoes here are literally the size of the tip of my thumb. They are absolutely massive. And the tea here is just so nice. They call it masala milk tea, which is kind of like our chai tea at home, except 10 times better. They like seep the spices in the tea, and I think I'm definitely going to try and replicate that back at home.
No, so hot. Okay.
Could I please have 2 masala milk teas?
Yeah.
Thank you.
With sugar?
Just one, please. Just mixing it.
Oh, that's why it tastes so good.
It's nothing compared to our little instant tea bags at home. I'm gonna miss it so much. That last one makes no sense. I don't think that's...
Told you.
You hit one in my lap.
I told
Take that off. Yeah, it's like, oh,
At dinner, we finally got to see naan being made, and I have to admit, I was pretty surprised when the chef just slapped the dough onto the side of the tandoor oven. It's such an interesting process to watch, and what my dad had been looking forward to the most because he's definitely the biggest lover of Indian food in the family. Seeing the whole process was really interesting because I don't think most people would guess that naan is made this way. At home, we usually make it in a frying pan, but it never quite turns out the same. Watching it cook inside a traditional tandoor oven gave us a whole new appreciation for the skill behind it, and probably explains why it tastes so much better too. Dessert tonight is gulab jamun. I think it's donuts. Interesting. Cool. After spending a few days in Pench, one thing became very clear. The spotted deer are everywhere. We saw them on almost every drive, usually just grazing quietly or moving through the grasslands in small groups. One of the more interesting moments was watching a male rubbing its antlers against a tree before starting to rut. During rutting season, males do this to mark their territory and leave a scent from glands on their antlers and face, which helps attract females.
The highest density of spotted deer, highest litter of tigers by one tigress, 29 cubs.
Alright, now I'm busy packing because we have a 4-hour drive to the next national park, which is called Tadoba. Actually, that was a very English way of saying it. I think they pronounce it Tadoba. Hopefully I'm saying that right.
Dust motes dancing in a shaft of fading light. I trace a map of shadows from a long